Hello students, my name is Charles E. Alexander, known as Mr. Alex-Zan. I am one of the Charlottesville 12 African-American students at First Integrated Schools in 1959. And my book that I would like to share with you is entitled, "The Skin is Just the Cover." And I'm going to start my story off with the verse, "The skin is just the cover, be it black, white, brown, or other. Goodness and greatness lies within, beyond the color of the skin." My name is Alex. I was born and raised in Charlottesville, Virginia, a little town located below the Blue Ridge Mountains. I was a bright, happy little 6-year-old who just couldn't wait to go to school. At this time in Virginia's history, schools were segregated, which meant black and white children went to separate schools. Even though Venable Elementary was my neighborhood school, I couldn't attend because of the color of my skin. My only choice was to go to the elementary school called Jefferson. What difference would it make if I went to the school where only white kids could go? I wasn't the only one this happened to. Kids in many other cities around the country were separated because of their skin color. Communities throughout the country disagreed about what should be done about segregation. Our nation's capital settled the question with Brown versus Board of Education decision in 1954. At least it was against the law to have segregation in schools. However, in my town, the Charlottesville School Board ordered 2 schools to be closed, so they would not have to obey the order. One school was Venable, and the other was Lane High School. During this time period, it was called massive resistance. By the time I was ready to go to the 1st grade, I thought my wish to go to Venable had came true. Much to my surprise, my class was held in a small building behind the main school. The only kids I saw were the other black students who integrated Venable and Lane High School. In later years, we became known as the Charlottesville 12. In the 2nd grade, I was finally able to attend the main school. My first days at Venable were mixed with excitement and some fear. But I was also blessed with a great smile that made people feel friendly and nice to me. I wasn't sure I would like being around teachers and students that didn't look like me. But I recall one of my grandmother Lottie's lessons. It doesn't cost to say hello. One day, a fellow student called me Blackie. My teacher, Mrs. Miller, great teacher, addressed the class by name calling and differences. She talked about how name calling could hurt people. She would say, if you took away the top layer of the skin color, we're all the same. The class got real quiet, but I was smiling and feeling good inside. There was also a time when a white father came to school looking for me because of an incident I had with his 2 sons. Mrs. Miller bravely blocked him from entering the classroom. She made sure I felt safe in her class. There were also two workers at the time, Mrs. Bryant, in the cafeteria, and the janitor, Mr. Swift. They were the only two black adults in the school. They always looked after me. I felt they were like my aunt and uncle away from home. I had many times, great times at Venable. Field trips to museums, May Day activities, and playing on the basketball team. More importantly, I learned to respect people who are different and that all people matter regardless of skin color. At Venable, I had a real good white friend named Gray Barbie. One night, his parents wanted me to spend the night. My mom said I couldn't go. I wondered what she thought was going to happen. At Venable, I did stand out, but I remember what my mom had told me. The purpose of going to school, Alex, she said, is to learn and get the best education. It's not about your dark skin, son, but the good within. Outside of school, I knew I was different. When my friends and I went to the Paramount Theater in downtown Charlottesville, we couldn't enter the front door. Our entrance was around the corner on the side door. While white moviegoers sat downstairs, black people were required to sit in the balcony. My mom told me about certain Charlottesville neighborhoods that weren't safe for blacks at the time. She often said, "Don't cross the Belmont Bridge into the white community." I wondered what difference it would have made if blacks and whites lived in the same neighborhood. In spite of the challenges at the school and in my community, my family and friends, black and white, always reminded me that it's not the color of your skin, but the good within. And now I would like to share with you the Charlottesville 12 students, the 9 students that went to Venable Elementary School, Charles Alexander, Mr. Alex-Zan, Raymond Dixon, Regina Dixon, Maurice Henry, Marvin Townsend, William Townsend, Sandra Wicks, Roland T. Woodfolk, Ronald E. Woodfolk. The 3 African-American students that went to Lane High School was French Jackson, Donald Martin, and John Martin. And another student that was a plaintiff that first chose and was assigned to Lane High School, Olivia Ferguson. By the time the court decision came around, she had already or was getting ready to graduate. So thus, we are the Charlottesville 12, and I would like to leave with you the message from the book, The Skin is Just a Cover, that the skin is just the cover, be it black, white, brown, or other. Goodness and greatness lies within, beyond the color of the skin.